Right, welcome back this morning. So we're getting through the repolishing of this. Obviously I've got to do, down here yet, across the front guard properly. I've been started on the hood, because obviously across that top, you know, it's got a lot of blue overspray on it. The side, like the sides of the blue are pretty good. Had the young, well, I guess you can call a young fella. Rachel's my stepson. Rachel's older boy, not my young fella. He giving me a hand to D8 on the side of the van off. Hopefully I'm going to get him back down here to do some more. Just as sort of, just gave me a good start on it. Obviously got to do around the edges and bits and pieces and whatever, but he's given it a good start. And we'll just see if I can keep him to keep going around it, and then it'll save me time. Not so much like it'll save me time, like, so I can keep doing stuff on the studio. And I gotta quickly flick the glove box back in that, and I need to ring her and let her know it's done. I was trying to find a double-sided tape. I can't remember if I've done a video on this or not. I'll flip the camera around. Like the other day I got this, and what I didn't realise is actually a freaking template thing you can put on stick in the windscreen, on the screen, and it shows exactly where it's got to go. Because I pushed it onto here, but I thought I had it flat down here, but when I kicked it up, whether I pulled it sideways or whatever. So I've been trying to find my other double-sided tape, do it in a roll somewhere. I've got a bit left from putting on one of those right side window shields that some cars have. Like they have the little short monsoon shields. Yeah, I've got some of that somewhere, but do you think I can bloody find it? Because I bought some just a wee while ago to put on Rachel's car before I sold it, because one of the mouldings was coming off. It was coming loose in the back window. So yeah, I was trying to find that to cut this off and redo that, but also put the little, there's like a black template that you meant to put on the frickin' glass first. I should have looked in the box properly. So that's part of the reason why I haven't. But I've got to screw that glove box back in, like the guts of it, in the door. It's just sitting there. So I'll screw that back in, and then that's done. So yeah, like she can come pick it up then. Apart from needs a bit of a blow off and probably another quick wash type sort of thing. So yeah, but yeah, I'd like to carry on with this at some point and get this knocked back a bit further. Not so much like this piece, but just keep going around it and getting around all the edges and whatever, so we can get this all cleaned up and start getting it primed. Like it needs sanded back down through here. I'm not quite sure why he didn't do down there. He's probably started, just needs a bit heavier. Just to try and get it sort of flattened off back down through the layers a bit. That sort of just shows where it needs some work through here. This panel needs a wee bit of work, but it just shows me the highs and lows too a little bit, where it needs sort of, probably doesn't need a lot, but hopefully just a couple of coats of primer will pull the bulk of it up as we go. And obviously I'll get them to keep going around the doors and whatever, and just do the bulk of it. Like I'll pull the handles off later and whatever, and give it another knock through and whatever. You know, we've still got holes to fill and shit, so it's just to get that initial start on it. And yeah, like I said, we'll carry on polishing this, because I need to get this done and need to get these bits bolts Loctited and whatever, and double checked. And I might drag I forgot about the other day, I need to drag the young fella down here. So what I'll do is I'll probably go through and Loctite all these bolts, get all them sorted, because I need to fold it down so I can get the spacer in the other side. On there I can't, with it up, I can't pull this off. It's like sort of locked on there with pressure. There's too much pressure on it like this to get this off, to put that the proper spacer in. This is just was a temporary when we were making it up. So to put that in there, and then Loctite the nut on. I need to get all this other stuff sorted, get all these back in and out and Loctite it on, and obviously give it everything a polish up. I can't remember if all the stuff's Loctited or not. No, this like probably yeah, I've probably got Loctite. Oh no, I can't Loctite that. I'm trying to think. No, because that goes in the positions, but yeah, like there's lots of bits in there Loctited. I need to put these together and just sit them in the back or something. Just get all these last little bits sorted and get it finished, getting that polished up, so when it goes to get the upholstery, it's all good and clean to go, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll carry on doing that, but I think I might start actually Loctiting all those bolts. Right, so this thing here is sort of kind of come out so far. So we end up shortening this off, but I've got just wound a nylock nut up into here, and eventually we'll cut this off and then wind another acorn nut on here. So I'm just going to put this in here at the moment. So hopefully we can. Right, got me a couple of nuts and bits and pieces, so I just bought that long bolt in. So that cost me the whole $1. Hence I in my car, like I've got a change place, but I've got an old paint lid with just these are all like 20s and 50-cent pieces. In New Zealand we don't have like quarters and whatever. Like a quarter would be 25 cents, I guess. I don't know, we have dimes, and we have 10-cent pieces. We used to have 5-cent pieces. We used to have 1 cents. and 2 cents as well, like years ago. But the 1s, 2s and 5s are all disappeared like a long time ago, because they're just not worth anything now, if you know what I mean. They dropped them years ago, and all the coins used to be bigger. If you've ever been to Australia, our coins used to be the same size as theirs, but they made all the 10s, 20s and 50s quite a lot smaller. I could actually show you when if I'm at home. I think I've got some, if you know what I mean. But we will go do some groceries now, and then we'll head back to the workshop. But yeah, so yeah, it's just handy having a bit of change like that occasionally. It's so freaking annoying to keep it in your wallet. Yeah, there's a 50, and there's a $2 coin. I've got a $1 coin here somewhere too, yeah. I normally keep a little bit of change on me, but you know what I mean. Like there's a $1, and there's the $2. It's just a little bit bigger, whereas in Australia they're actually the other way around. The $1 and $2 are different. The other ones, the $2 is smaller than the $1, which is weird. And the Australian 50-cent piece, which is about the same size as our old 50-cent piece, is 8 sides, I think. Yeah. Anyway, carry on. Right, so we got our other bolt and new nylock nut on. Without nylock nut that I had. Oh, yeah, no, they're both on there. Sorry, here, I've not really wound that one on. I thought it was this one that I had to take off. But no. So I've worked out that length. So that's obviously the spacing between the other bit, and that locks up. So I'll put some Loctite on that one, but what I want to do is I just want to get a rough idea. What I'll do is I think I'll wind, I'll probably just wind that nut back a little bit until it's in the right place, and then we'll nick it off slightly long, and then I'll tidy it up, and then we can put it on the other side and Loctite it on at the same time. And then I've got the black paint over there, so what I'll do is I'll just mix that up a little bit, put a couple of wee dribbles of hardener, just give it a wee mix, and I'll just go around and touch up some scratches on here, especially where I might just give that a wee light sand, and then we'll just dab some paint on there. It'll be fine. It'll end up being covered in material and whatever anyway by the time it's all finished and put together. Yeah, and then what I'll do after that, I'll put that glove box in. I didn't do that yet, but yeah, I'll get this sorted, at least then I can put the glove box in, and then at some point we'll flip this back and get that space around, and we'll Loctite those on, and yeah, then I might just carry on polishing for a while. Righty, so replace the tape on that. They had these weird sticker things that obviously meant to go on top of that against the glass, and then you push that up behind it. There's another one here. You think I could get that fucking thing to stick to the window? Like I wiped the inside of it with methylated spirits, or what do you want to call it? I just use that normal. I normally have it in a bottle, but I just pinched some from home and put in this jar for just cleaning glass and whatever. Just if I need to, do something, I need to put the lid back on that. But it doesn't matter at the moment. So yeah, I got the old one off, pulled the old tape off the light. At least the tape I got this on it this time is black, so it's not so ugly. But yeah, I tried to put one of these things on here, so it had like a nice little trim surround. But man, you think I could get that to frickin' stick? And obviously it's meant to be that side out, because I pulled that off, and it's stuck to this, because that's like the sticky side of the like the vinyl transfer paper to put on it. But yeah, do you think it would stick? Nah. So I was like, oh, screw it. Since it's got black tape on there, it's not so ugly now. It doesn't seem to want to stick just because of the shape of the glass, it doesn't stick in 100% in places, but hopefully that will stay there. I don't know why these guys have got this freaking wire coming out of the top. Why wouldn't you put that on the bottom of the fucking light? Like, is it meant to be up here and then you meant to run the wire around? I don't know. But like, that's where the last one was, and this is where most people would put them. But yeah, I would have it so at least you could, because you can pull that out, but you can't turn it around. It's unsquare, the backing thing. Like, you can pull that whole back piece off. I don't know if you can see in there or not. We'll climb it. I actually thought you might have been able to, because this whole back piece comes off, but it's not square, it's tapered. So if they had actually made it square, you probably could have flicked it over the other way so the wire was in a better place. So at least it was, you know, in under here somewhere. So you could hide it a bit better, but there's fucking nothing I can do about it, if you know what I mean. Like, I can probably actually slip. I wonder if I should pull the wire out and then just slip it down here. So it's where the last one come through, if you know what I mean. Because the wire was coming out of here. It was only like a little short, but there's not much else, you know, not much I can do about it, because there's actually, without buying something off eBay or something like that, there's actually not a lot of options in these things anymore. Because I actually went to one of the auto electric specialists, to a pretty good friend of the family. Yeah, and he hunted through and he said, oh, you used to get better heaps of these sorts of things, but he said there's bugger all available now, because all the modern vehicles have them in. Like, it's only just screwing around with old stuff like this that you need one. Like, really, like, I think in that there you'll get away with it because of the age of the vehicle. There's nowhere to fucking put one. But I even would think in the van, like, it may have to have one. I don't know, but the lights are a bit better on that. Like, if you did have to put one in this, you could possibly put, like, on this spare wheel carrier, you could probably mount like a little LED bracket and put an extra one in here, like, because it's only got this one light. Like, if you had to, you could make another one of those and put it on the other side for whatever. But yeah, and I think, I don't know, if we end up putting blinkers or anything like this, we probably might just put some little, hide some little ones just underneath here or something like that. Make some little brackets up at some point. But yeah, or whatever. You know, you could even probably mount some tiny, I don't know, hide some wires through here and mount like a little motorcycle one on here or something silly. But when the canvas top's down, you're never going to fucking see it. So it really needs to be down lower, because the canvas top comes down to here. It's meant to be anchored into here, so like, you're not going to see all this anyway. The rest of it's just moulded in and done for decoration, if you know what I mean. If you actually go back, the body actually stops here, but on the on all the photos we've seen of a body there's like this extra cap of wood for the material to everything be joined on. Yeah, you can actually see it. I built all this up because this is, I think, the back part of the body. This is a phaeton rear. I think that's how it's pronounced. So yeah, the back part of the body is exactly the same, except the phaeton would have, like, it's a hard top, open sides. That's where I actually got the pictures of what I was actually talking about. I can't remember. It might have been a different video. It might have been one I put up on TikTok, because I handmade these pieces because they were missing, you know, with the stuff. So yeah, I actually went and looked at one. There's one of these, but not a convertible top, a couple of hours away from us. But yeah, like, there's the only other convertible top one that's near us is 4 or 5 hours away, 6 hours away, one direction. So yeah, well, I end up getting a lot of photos and bits and pieces to build this convertible top off a guy in Australia that's I've got a pair of these things, like different variations and models. But yeah, because the other one that's up north too, they handmade the convertible top for that too. So it's probably not exact original either, if you know what I mean. So I was trying to find one that had the original bits on it, so it could be, so we can make it as close as possible to what the original sort of would be. Because yeah, we got when I made this, just I don't deviate away from that, so I only got to throw the glove box back in it now. But yeah, I think I got the distance between the bars for each one, and I think I got the rough lengths of this, and he gave me the rough radius for these, and the depth, like depth this way and rough depth this way, and the rough diameter of the tubes. This is made out of exhaust tubing, 1.6 I think mil exhaust tubing I made this out of, and then just cut it and collapsed it and squeezed it in, and this is like solid bar up into, I don't know, here somewhere, plug welded through in, then welded in with the thing, and then heated and just formed. Same, you know, all these ends are all, and this is tube, I think, yeah, tube, and then I collapsed it and added extra steel in to make this stronger. So yeah, it's quite a bit of work in it. And then we made these as well. That's all, it's just strips of wood all glued together and pulled around on a form. They're only just like little thin strips all laminated together, just to try and make it work, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so anyway, so now I've got that light sorted. Yeah, unfortunately that stupid thing here didn't work. There's another one there, but I thought, well, if the first one's not going to stick there, the fucking second one's not going to. That's why I sort of pushed it out into the heat to try and get it to stick, but it just wouldn't. But yeah, at least now it's got black tape on there instead of this shitty white stuff. I just peeled that off the frickin' base, so it wasn't on there very good. So now I can put that glove box back in briefly, and we'll give this a quick wipe down. Get the bird shit off the back of it. It's some birds just crapped on the fucking thing. We'll give it a final wee vacuum out, and yeah, I'll let her know she can come and get it. But really, she better drive it home, or somebody better drive it home, or if they can trailer it, I don't know, whatever. It should be safe enough to drive home. Like, go put some fuel in it and drive it home. Like, it wouldn't hurt. Like, well, no, it's not registered, but you get away with it, if you know what I mean. Too many freaking feet climbing in and out of there. So we'll give it a final wipe out and wipe down and whatever, and give it a quick vacuum and put the glove box back in there, and she should better toodle it home. She wants. Go fill it up full of some gas, and then yeah, she can go get a I think she's going to have to take it to an electrical place anyway, because there's a couple of little gremlins in there with that heater and whatever that needs sorted, and the hazard light switch. I'm not going to stuff around with that. She can get somebody else to fix that. It's like, I might better find it, but you know what I mean. Like, I just want it out of my here, to be honest. It's been here long enough now. So you should get that sorted out. I actually didn't realise these things had kitty locks. Discovered that because I couldn't get one of the back doors open. I could open it from the outside, but not from the inside. And I thought, oh, maybe the handle's disconnected, but then I realised there's a button there. Wasn't quite sure whether something with this vintage, like it was sort of obviously early kitty lock. I know, like, you know, a lot of cars didn't, but a lot of cars did it. You know, getting back into this era. Like back into the 70s, like some stuff did and some stuff didn't. Like, it was pretty common in Japan and stuff like that, but it's sort of in this era of cars, but not so much in like some of the more English sort of stuff of this sort of caliber, if you know what I mean. Anyway, pop that together and we'll give it a final wipe over and whatever, and we'll get it out of here. Right, I'm close to having this polished up, kinda. A little bit more to do down here. You know, it needs another wipe over in most places and around here, and I've still got to finish this side. But we're getting close. But I'm thinking about this headlight stuff. It's something else I would like to try and get at least buttoned up, even if we don't have bulbs, but have wiring and shit run. Because the wiring for the main part of the lights is here, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the main part of the headlight wiring, if you know what I mean. Looped up there. Well, at least for the most part. So we need, well, I need, this is the socket for the light itself. I think I covered this yesterday. And then this pigtail piece is the bit that drops down through here, and that goes to where the center of the light. And this is obviously the connection on the other side, which you plug into the back of the light with the cable that comes through from here, if you know what I mean. So you can disconnect this, from what I can gather. but I've only got one, and it's how complete it is or what, I don't know, if you know what I mean. It looks like it's meant to have some sort of screw-on connection onto there, and then obviously that plugs into that end, and then that thread there, we'll have to work that out, but it's got like a little bracket that will makes this screw in and out and adjust and whatever. It's probably got just some sort of pin or something. I'm not 100% sure how that works completely. And then it's got another screw. I've got this funny sprung loaded thing here. I think that's meant to be sort of part of it. Yeah, but I've only got one of those. So it's probably meant to sit on there and then hold a bit of tension on probably the back of that to help hold it into the light, to hold the adjustment, and then obviously probably just want to screw in, and that just holds a bit of tension on, and that you can just adjust it. I'm guessing that's how it works, if you know what I mean. That may be the screw out of there. It could be the screw out of the back of that, is it? I did pull these apart, but it was a long time ago. But like, it wasn't completely together, if you know what I mean. Nothing was 100%, and there was bits missing. So what I'm going to do is, there is other headlights upstairs, but they're completely different. But maybe they might have bits the same, or that, or I'm going to have to try and maybe put a post up online and see if I can find some bits or whatever. I've got another one of these bits, or similar thing. Sure, got two of them. Yeah. So I got another one of those sort of thing. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it would do with a clean up, if you know what I mean. Like, I can probably salvage these. I'm not 100% sure on that, if you know what I mean, but we can try. And this is another weird connection thing, but it's not the same as what this one is. But we might just go upstairs and have a wee nosy. I'll put them in my pocket. You know, like I said, we're going to fix that with that. Try and make another one of those to fit in there. And then some of these other bits are meant to go. These are the bits I think are meant to be in here, from memory, to hold the socket in, if you know what I mean. We might go have a quick wee look upstairs and amongst the bits and pieces up there, because I think I shuffled a whole heap of stuff back up there. We'll have a look, see if there's anything up there that maybe I can pull apart to rob bits out of. That's either that, or we'll have to go hunting. I've got to go into town. I want to do a couple of other messages in town, so I might better call onto somewhere and just see whether there's anything like that that's still able to be got from somewhere, you know what I mean? But we'll have a quick poke up here. I'll get the ladder in a better position. We'll climb up and have a look. Okay, maybe I didn't put the headlight stuff up here. It's all sorts of other bits and pieces, gearbox stuff, and I have its radiators and surrounds and stuff, but I don't see any headlight parts. Maybe they're down in behind the tractor somewhere. Alrighty, yeah, it's more what I want to see. So I've managed to pull apart, is it 21 Studebaker headlight, and this is more what I want to see. This sort of thing. So it's on a spring. So yeah, maybe I can make something like this work in that light. To some description, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I think there's another one of these. So I might be able to pinch the parts out of them. I was trying to get these ones apart. I was trying to get that cover off the front. Yeah, and I can't get that one off. Well, can't get that one off either. That's what's meant to be on it. These, I think. So maybe at some point we'll try and rebuild what's here. Actually, yeah, we'll try and rebuild what's these ones at some point, but maybe these 21s headlight bits we can make work. You know what I mean? So if it's that spring and you just wind that screw in and out once you get it cleaned up, and that'll adjust the back of the bulb, and it can obviously just move a little bit with the direction of aiming the light, which also works through that stalk sort of thing. And there's the connection off the bottom of it, so we've actually got a couple of them. So we should be able to make something work somewhere along the line. Anyway, we're going to do some other stuff. Right, so I was looking at this one. I'm just trying to work out what the best solution is, if you know what I mean. So I thought of maybe able to use this backing piece, but it's actually soldered to the reflector, and the bolt just clips into it, and then it's got a wiring harness that hooks in, obviously, you know, through here. It's obviously probably meant to have one of those short connections and then plugs back in again. So I can't use that, so I think this is probably my best weapon of choice that suits what those ones were or are. See, I'm pretty sure this is what was in this, if you know what I mean. I think it sat in there like that, and then well, it's probably just pressed up against there, and then it could just adjust on a spring-loaded pressure. Yeah, I was just hoping I might have been able to find another one of those like coil springs, but I know there's lots of boxes of bits and pieces somewhere. I'll have a bit more of a hunt and see if I can find another thing like this to try and do what I want to do, if you know what I mean. I sort of need at least a couple of that sort of something like that to make this work. That's what I was hoping was in here, but it's not like that. I can obviously pull one of these apart and just have a double check, but yeah, God, you're a noisy little bird. I can double check one of these ones as well. Probably not that one, but I might check this one, because I think this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be a slightly different style. I think that one there is more like this one, where I think this is more like that one, because it's got the backing is screwed in. So we might just pull this one apart and have a wee look in here. Throw gun drawer. I was actually trying to find my phone charger before, but I can't remember where I put it. I need to have a clean up again. Too much shit going on. Like the chargers in the wall there is for the lights. Tighten my frickin' thing up. This is also, you know, where you can spend a lot of hours, just waste a frickin' lot of hours just hunting through old bits and pieces like this to find parts that you want, you know what I mean? To make something work for an old car, especially of this sort of era. You know, you could, not when you can just go, like there is possibly somewhere where you can buy the bits, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, do you spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars getting something from overseas, if it's available, or do you hunt through what you've got and try and make something work, you know? And it's been a while making it, you know. Like, I could probably go to the local vintage club. I know they've got a big massive well, I wouldn't say massive, but they've got a big old parts store, old parts shed. Like, I could probably get bits out of that too if I really wanted to, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, this is the same. Awesome. This is exactly what I want. That gives me two of everything of the same kit and caboodle, I think. As long as I can get this piece out. The wiring's even good. Yeah, this is far better than the other option. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, perfect. Right, so I did eventually get that out, but it's not very good. It's bent. It's a bit galled up. I was fighting with it. So eventually got it out. I had to straighten that out. Doesn't matter if it's probably not perfect. So what I want to do is I'm going to shoot down to the local hardware store. I just had to quickly Google and just see if they've got anything that's a bit like that. I'll take one of these with me. Just see if we maybe can pick up a couple of, even if the stainless machine screws or something like that, that'll screw into that little fitting, and at least then we've got something a bit better. And like that one there is fine, but just that other one it had sort of been halfway chewed up, and when I was trying to get it off, it was fighting me, and then I ended up bending it and chewing up the end of it. It just wouldn't come out very easy. So we might go see if we can do that and see if we can find something that'll work. And yeah, then we'll probably attack it again tomorrow. Alrighty, so what I've got going on here is I took a bit of this copper tube and then I flared it at the end a little bit using the brass or bronze, whatever nut it is. Had it sitting in the vise, made this a bit long so it would sit on the bottom of the vise bed, and then you just had this sticking up a little bit like this up here, and then just pin it over. So now, so I can put this in here to replicate that since there's one missing. It's a little bit big. I'm just going to have to keep squeezing it in and trimming it in until it slips in. At least then we'll get a bulb fixture holder where the other bit will slip into, because this isn't that, this is meant to be in the light base itself. So you just got to keep squeezing this in and trimming a little bit out of here until we can get that slip in, and then that'll be like that. And then I'm going to we'll have to modify these a little bit anyway to hold. Where are you? To hold this in there. So this pokes through here, but it won't go in far enough because of this hasn't got a big enough slot in it, like the ones that off these ones here. It's got a nice big slot in it, so that can push right in to there, to where that sits in. And the other ones are a similar idea, wherever the original one is. So what I need to do is, work out how far this sat through, because it takes the same bulb. So I need to work out how far that poked through this one, so I can make, have to far through that one poke through, so I can make this one fit the same depth, and then it can be tweaked a little bit with the adjuster screw, which I've now got hold of. So if this pokes right through here and then bottoms out to there, we need to take that rough measurement and obviously make the other one do the same thing, because I don't want to use these ones, I want to use two the same. But it's not going to matter, it holds the same bulb, so we're just modifying and then obviously making another one of these because it's missing out of this. So I'll get this fitting in there, and then we will work out what our depths are meant to be, and then we'll modify this so they fit in the same depth. Righty, just trying to work out what's going on here. So the screw is getting very close to bottoming out in there. I'm very tempted to shorten it up. Oh, I mightn't have to. Yeah, I might just take a little bit off it. I don't know if you can see in there. Just shorten it back. I don't know, 1/4 inch. Maybe a sneak more than that. You know, I don't know. 6-7 mil sort of type sort of thing. But over 1/4 inch. Somewhere around about there. Yeah, but over that. Probably a touch over that. And just then refit that. I'm getting borderline the bulb, getting the reflector to sit against here, but then there's not a lot of adjustment left to pull this back. Obviously this is how it works, you know, how it sits in there. So yeah, mind you, this is long too compared with the original. So maybe it might end up being too long, I don't know. But worst comes to worst, if I have to, I'll, where are we? Where's the other one? Maybe here still. If I had to, I don't know whether I can maybe, how much longer is it? It is a bit longer, isn't it? Just looking at the total depth of where the bulb fits in. Yeah, it could be a sneak shorter, but we'll try it at this. If I have to, maybe I might have to just cut it and join it. Even cut it on the corner and sneak it back a little bit, and then tack that back on. You know, burn a little bit of weld in there. I think if you're quick, you'd get a decent weld on that, or I don't know, something. Work something out anyway. Just trying to see how that it's attached. Yeah. Oh, it goes right round and hooks back through. Yeah, probably cutting it and just shortening it up a little bit. Worst comes to worst would probably be the safest bet. But yeah, if I can make it work, I will. So I might just shorten the thread up a little bit. These are a touch too long compared with the originals. Just want to see how it fit. I polished up that little black washer, and it was very flat for a start off, so I set it in a bit of tube. Where is it? I just sat it in that bit of tube in the vise and just hammered it, hammered it into it to make it curved. Oh, the other one's over there. I was going to polish it. So yeah, the bit that came off the back of here that held the screw was very flat on here, so I mushroomed it, put a bit of curve into it, so it would sit nicely against the back of that thing, and then just give it a wee polish, see what it come up like. I think it'll look fine. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I've got this other screw here. So what I might do is find a nut that'll screw onto that, trim this one off, and I'll swap it over, and it'll go from there. Right, we're getting there. I still think it might be a wee bit long, but we'll only know until we start focusing it. We'll worry about that later. So what I might try and do is see if I can get a bit of wiring on a fitting. Maybe hunt for a bulb that will work, if I can find one that's the right sort of thing. Like if I could get that one out of there, I'd try that. But I'll just see if I can even find a bulb that will fit in that, at least even just to test to make sure, like, we've got continuity and, you know, it works. It's bound to be one here floating around amongst some stuff. So either I'll just shoot to Dad and get one. Right, morning. Let's have a quick drink. So I managed to find a bulb that will work. I'm not 100% sure if it works through both circuits. I'm not sure if it's lining up 100%. It's not a headlight bulb, but it fits in the socket and it looks like it should work. So at least when I work out wiring and whatever, it should work. Now what I need to do is find there was when we got this kit for this Studi from Australia, for this old style wiring, or old look wiring, there was a kit that came with it that told you all the numbers, so I need to hunt that down. I'm hoping it's in that cupboard, because I moved a whole heap of stuff at one point. We had folders and bits and pieces, so I need to hunt that down just so I can search through this wiring here, so I can look through this wiring and just remember what there's numbers on these wires, to remember what ones go to what, so I can work out the light configuration. So I think it's just like it's an older variation of tail lights. I think at some point, I'm not 100% sure, that they went to a bigger style bayonet fitting. I think that's what you call that, isn't it? They changed the size of the bayonet fittings. So the only bulb that I could find that would fit in here and look like the connectors are in the right place was this smaller, I think it's like a tail light sort of type bulb or whatever. So hopefully it works, just to make sure that the circuits are working, if you know what I mean. Once I get here and I'm just going to temporarily wire it up, because eventually we'll have to get I'll have to have a look, see if we've got some more of the sleeving, so we can run that out here, back into here, to obviously hide the wiring. And this actually needs to sit up in here a little bit. I need to put those bits, yeah, put these back in the body of the base that fit in here, I think, and they just stop that fitting from dropping way out. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. I just want to test this part of it, and then we can start mucking around with the rest of the wiring. But I would also like to hook them back into that for a few days, and try and get that roof stuff finished off and get that fully stripped back, and probably even get it some body filler on it and whatever, because the rest of it, apart from a few bits and pieces, shouldn't take too long to DA down. I want to get that light out of the corner of it and whatever, and work out, unless then we can start getting it cleaned up for a little bit of body filler or whatever. Work out we need, we've still got to put those side panels in the back, don't we? I keep forgetting I got those frickin' windows. But yeah, I want to get that roof tidied up, and at least then I can work on the other stuff. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that'll be gone in the next day or two. We'll just, I don't know, waiting for them. They were went away on holiday, so I'm waiting on them to come back to pick us up. I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not. I think I did a TikTok about it the other day. I'm probably going to close the shop up, and just give it up in here and move all my tools out. Once I've sort of got, obviously, the Studi basically done, and that van out of here, I think that's what I'm doing. I'm starting to look for a job. I didn't want to. I thought I had enough work that was going to come in, but every big job that I think I'm going to get, or people are going to do, they just turn around and change their minds. And the last resort was the road run I looked at a couple of weeks ago, or 3 or 4 weeks ago, when I dropped Rachel off and the young fella off to the airport to go back to Australia, because Rachel's brother's dying. That was my last decent job that I'd looked at and was trying to organise and whatever else. Yeah, and it's another one of those ones. It'll get done at some point, but I just can't afford to wait any longer to get a couple of decent jobs in here that are going to keep me going each month. Obviously, you know, you want to be able to get them in, and I don't know. I just don't seem to be able to get enough work in here to get a decent enough name to then start getting that flow on. That's why I started doing videos and TikToks and YouTube. That was part of the reason why I doing it to try and get my name out there. So if there was local people around, they would get me to do stuff. But it's just not working. So whether I eventually carry on and start doing this stuff again, like I will always do it, but I don't think I'll ever do it for people again, unless it's a mate that wants me to do something and I, do it at home in the shed or whatever, at the time, or in their shed or whatever. But I don't know, I just can't be bothered fighting to find the work all the time. You want to get to the point where it's people are ringing and knocking at your door, and it's just not happening. And I just, I can go out and keep chasing and keep chasing and keep chasing. I've been doing it for 3 years, 4 years coming up now. I thought just everybody that's, and I know the economy is part of the issue. Like, I've had that many other jobs that people wanted me to do or to start doing, and then they've just turned around and said, nah, we can't afford it at the moment, or I'm working on this other vehicle, we'll get this one done first, and then, we might come back to that one later, and, and I'm like, man, I just need something. But yeah, this road running is the same deal. It's probably a, I don't know, 10 grand job, or whatever, by the time you take pieces off the picks and replace them, put them back on, do the body work, paint it, whatever, it's a probably good 10, about 10 grand job. But it's just, sort of halfway get it organised, finally got to talk to the guy that does the certification for the vehicles that come into the country that, like from the US and stuff like that, old stuff. They've got to have what they call a body cert. They've got to be stripped down and checked to make sure that any repairs that have been done overseas are sound and being done properly and up to safety standards here. And then anything that's been done here is obviously going to be inspected along the road. So yeah, like, it's different if it's on the road, like the van or whatever. It's still in the system, so it can be repaired, it can be whatever, and then just registered, and it just can go through its normal safety check. And as long as there's obviously nothing untoward sticking out of you, you're good. But yeah, anything that's been brought into the country has got to go through a revinning process and a certification and all that sort of bullshit to say that it is up to snuff. Because there's a lot of, I hate to poo-hoo the Americans, but some of the car repairs over there that end up here are fucking terrible. But yeah, it's just, was going to get all that done on this car. I had organised the guy to, I was going to, he was happy. He was down here every couple of weeks. We organised him to call in and whatever and look at it, and it's just, oh my God, it's just one of those things. It's just, nah, I'm going to do it later. I'm like, fuck, I need one of these jobs, a decent job to get me back on the feet, and it's just not happening. So I just like, it's not worth the fight and the stress and the effort anymore. Maybe sometime down the track, who knows, but I was hoping this was the job in the business that was going to get me going into retirement, if you know what I mean. But I just can't be bothered fighting with it anymore. It's not worth the hassle, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we'll get these done, and hopefully I'll just get something to do myself, and I'll just pick away at that sort of stuff and make videos. I still make car show videos and whatever, but yeah, I've just had enough. It's not worth the headaches anymore. If things are going to go good, I was hoping to be able to employ somebody. That was my vision. At least get a couple of people in here, whatever. Get somebody to help me do the books and bits and pieces, so you can keep on top of that sort of shit, keep everything under control. But it's just, I don't know. Everything just seems to be freaking too hard for anybody else to either give me a hand, or when you're thinking you're going to get all these different builds, and that was the guy with the 4 panels and that. I did that blue V8 Ford, did a back repair on the battery tray area, and then he's going to get me to do another vehicle You know, he pulled the pin. And I had a builder guy that built this shed. He was going to get me to do his holding ute, and he had a combi van he was going to get me to look at. That's all gone south. You know, just everything. Just, I don't know. It just ends up in the too hard basket. You know, well, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. Well, it's just, oh, I can't do it later. So yeah, that's where we're at. So anyway, we'll keep paddling away here. We'll get some, hopefully get some shit done. Hopefully it warms up here short. My fingers are freezing, and yeah, we'll keep ticking along. Alright, I finally found that bit of frickin' wiring for this kit. It comes from these guys. Yeah, from these guys here. So this is a kit for a right-hand drive 22 to 25 sturdy 6. It's obviously, you know, reasonably universal. So I now know what the what wires are what. So I just got to go back through and just retrace my steps, if you know what I mean, from early on. So I've got this on my phone now, so I took a picture of it. So we'll dig in and have a wee nosy. Right, so what I'm looking at here, so the brown wire is the horn, which goes around to the other side. I think it's the switched fuse side of it, goes back to the switch, and then these two here are obviously for headlights. But they're both the same. They're both just power. There's no high beam, low beam. So what we really need to do is take this to the switch for the dip switch, because obviously this thing never had a dip switch, new. And so this will turn on here. It's pretty sure bright is, this is works that switch down there, this thing here. You can hear it doing its thing. So when you turn this on to a certain position, that might be curb, that might be just your park lights sort of type thing, off. It might be bright and dim. I'm not really sure how that works, if you know what I mean. Need to work that out. But I think what's probably better off to do is just when they come on, have it come back, have that go to the switch, and then that either flicks high or low beam, since we're putting a 2-position bulb in it instead of having it on that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that would have worked way back. It's a bit of a weird. I'm just wondering, this is to do with lights. There's like that's like a spring resistor, and it's probably helps take some of the brightness out of the bulbs, I think. What I should do is actually have a look at this book. It does have a wiring diagram in it. Just see if I can nut it out, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not complicated, but it's just when you're dealing with something that you're not used to. Yeah, normally you just run your obviously your power to a switch or a relay, and then yeah, that would be your high low beam. So when you switch it from one to the other, it switches the power between obviously the low beam and high beam, or both, if you know what I mean. You know, on modern cars, you know, you got some of your 4 headlights, and it would, your low beams would stay on, and then your brights would come on as well, you know, on certain bulbs. But I know there is a wiring, like a basic, yeah, basic wiring. Well, what I'm going to do, I'll take a couple of pictures of this so I can zoom it on the phone, and we'll just have a wee study. Yeah, I might have to go hunt out, see if I can get this wiring from somewhere, just so we can make up a loom to go from there to each headlight for the high and low beam, and work out whether the switch works or not. I can't remember if I tested the fucking thing or not. I got vague recollections of cleaning it up, but it might not have been that. But yeah, it'll just be a matter of just putting some power into it,
and which I guess that's probably your main power, and then it'll be switched between here and here for your high and low beam, I would imagine. So yeah, it's just a matter of probably wiring and then just seeing, testing, and then running our loom out to each headlight, and see if we can get this to work properly. Will be the next thing, I guess. And then put this back in. Righty, so spec this one here ready to go. Pull it out. So I've actually got that fitting back in here and got the cable connection in, so now it's just got it just looks like another plug that goes in from here to here now. We'll make the wiring up for that part of it. So that's basically done. Like, I may have to nick that slot out a little bit deeper just to allow it to go in whatever. But yeah, so I've still got to put that other fitting back in that base of that light. And all I did because I squashed it in to get it out originally, but when we were doing all the hammer and dolly work on these things, because they were quite badly beaten up, as you can see, like, here's one of them repairs to fix stuff before they were sent away. The way I got that back in is, once it's squashed it in enough to get in the hole, let's put this back in here meantime, and all I've done is got a 3/8 drive socket and pushed it through like that, so that bit's in the base, and then just hammered that through. Actually, I had this socket on the end of it, sorry. Had that socket on it, pushed it in through there, and then that spread it back out as I drove it through and put it back into put that little lip back into there properly. So then, and then just a matter of feeding the actual socket plug into it and bending that little slot back until the little clip goes into it, and then bend that back again. I'll try and show you when I do that one shortly, but I've got some other stuff I need to go do now, so I'll be back later on. Well, looks like I was a bit slow today. What are you talking about? Well, I've been burning pellets at home, old pellets. And normally there's a couple of places around here you can go grab your pellets. Like, as they bring stuff in, you know, they get the ones that are damaged and whatever, you know, that just don't go back into the system. So they just pile them up in the back, down the backs of some of the things, you know, over a week or so, you know, they get quite a few. It's like, shit, it's like, I reckon I need to go get some more pellets that I frickin' to burn at home for wood. No, somebody beat me to them. Pain in the butt, absolute pain in the butt. So I might have to go have a quick look on Saturday morning and see if I can grab a couple, but just to keep us going. But pain in the ass for being fucking so broken. I just normally go buy fucking wood if I had to, but not at the moment. Right, quick update. So, I can't remember where I was at the other day and what I showed you. But I've got basically got this sorted, but what I really need is some wiring, or some wire, to hook this up to there and then run some other stuff. There is other wiring here, but it's for other things. And there's not enough. Like, there's another wire for horn, for flashes, yeah, and I think there might be a couple other bits used somewhere else. I'm not 100% sure. I know there was some other stuff that might have been used. So I haven't got any of that old school type wiring, so what I need to do is find some of that. I was actually going to jump back over onto the van for a while,
We've done a bit of sanding around the sides, we haven't done much more else. I've just cleaned a part of the roof back a bit more with the Scotch-Brite disc. And I thought I'd crank up the welder. I knew I was getting low on gas, but I thought there might have been enough just to fill that, that patch in on the roof that's just up here, where I started tacking it in there, I don't know, a week or so more ago. I hadn't got back to that, but I just cranked the welder up and there's no gas left. I knew it was getting really low, but I was hoping that it might have been just enough to, you know, weld that in. Which is a pain, so I need to get wiring for that. I need to get gas for the welder, which is a real pain at the moment. So I think I need to get hold of this guy and just see if he can give me another drop of some funds. But what I might do is just crank up the DA in the meantime and keep stripping some of this back some more. I'll get this light out of it. It's a pain in the butt, so I've got to get in with the hood open and get down and behind here, or get up and behind here, I think, to get the bulb out. Yeah, there's a couple bolts in here, and I would also like to especially tear into where these pieces have been primed up, because I just don't feel that's been primed very well. I'm not sure what's going on underneath, if you know what I mean. So I need to get that really scuffed back or whatever. So also when I go into town, once I've got a few more funds to do what I want to do, I'll get a few more of those, couple more, probably 3 or 4 more of those good Scotch-Brite discs at about $13 or $14 each. And hopefully that'll be enough to at least strip the rest of the roof and maybe dig into these pieces if I need to. I might get a couple extras, we'll just see. But yeah, I'd like to get this all scuffed back and then knocking out a dent of it. And I also, once I get obviously some gas, I can finish these couple patches on the roof, and I want to at least get a start on these side windows, because I can't do much else with this until I get some hold of some old-fashioned wiring. I need to work out where I can get that from. Just the way we're going to wire it up. There's not enough wiring there, if you know what I mean, to do what I want to do. Yeah, there's not really. And then I need to do a loose wire up, and see if we can get that system to work just loosely. And at some point, I don't know, maybe see if we can find some little motorbike LED flashes or something like that we can poke in somewhere. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do there either. Maybe look at make a little bracket that we can just put a couple of small ones on with these. Oh, there's no holes in there, is there? No, there's not any holes in there. But we might be able to pick up off something and put some little flashes in somewhere. Probably could even make up at least one of these bolts off and put a little flasher in here or something like that, just like a little motorbike type one. And then also do the same off probably these pieces. Hopefully we'll get away with one stop lamp, one broke tail light, because that's all these things ever had. Like you could have modified this and put one on, but we didn't have all the extra bits to put another one on, if you know what I mean. And I'm not sure what you would do for a high stop for a third. Like you could probably put one on here if they really want one. So you know, I need to organise a bit of that sort of stuff, so I can carry on with some of these things. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll crank up the DA, grab the DA around from the other side. I'll finish off what's done around here, where the young fellas started for me, and get this side cleaned up, and then start going around the other side. So I might have a quick look at that light first and just see if I can get that off here. I was hoping there was enough gas in there to do that other freaking light. I'll do that other bit of hole in the roof where I sort of started. Yeah, there's nothing left. Yeah, pretty sure there's nothing left in that. I'll just flip that on for a second. No. Nothing. So that's a bummer. But that's life. I knew it was getting low, but yeah, I was hoping it's going to have enough. So I just stripped the rest of this piece up to here with one of those Scotch-Brites. Like we'll eventually go with a 60 grit on the DA once we've sort of done all this stuff as well. We'll rip over it and then we'll start putting some body filler on and whatever once we've got all the holes fixed. And we've obviously pounded out a few more dents around the front. Now what I'd like to actually hook into this fairly good for the next week or two, as long as I can get some decent cash in, and also hopefully spend a day or two looking for another job somewhere along the line.